What if the Great One had to earn every inch against 6 bruising teams and straight-bladed sticks? Today, we drop Wayne Gretzky into the original 6 era and see if brilliance survives brutality. 4 of the highest scoring seasons ever, all his. A casual 215 points in 1 year. Yep, and the gap between him and second place on the all-time list isn't a typo. 936 points. Now take away the curved stick, yank off the helmet, shrink the league to 6 angry clubs, and swap those graceful 80s skaters for 210-pound defensemen who treat high sticking like a friendly handshake. Still the Great One? Hey, welcome back to the channel where yesterday and tomorrow collide over questionable life choices and hockey hypotheticals. If you're new, I spend far too much time asking questions like, what if Bobby Orr had played forward? Or was the glowing puck actually ahead of its time? Today, we're diving into the big one. Could Wayne Gretzky have torn up the original 6? From 1942 to 67, the NHL was basically a half dozen bullies sharing one sandbox. Only 120 roster spots existed, so stars like Gordie Howe logged half the game without blinking. Padding was a joke. Think leather gloves with a felt mustache for protection. No red line pass rule, no butterfly goalies, just 5-ish goals a game and nightly train rides from Detroit to Chicago to Boston, often on the same breath. You either learned to duck the elbows or you disappeared to the minors forever. Mid-80s Gretzky, 150 pounds if he just stepped out of a pool. Maurice Richard had 25 more on him and still got pummeled. Ted Lindsay didn't just score. He carved space with knuckles first, stick second. Drop 99 into that blender, and the first hip check from Leo Boivin would have sent popcorn flying into the stands. With no instigator rule, just consequences, Gretzky himself told Sports Illustrated back in 1989 he'd need a running start to survive the opening shift. Before we even discuss straight-bladed lumber and heavier pucks, the nightly toll already erases points from the ledger. But here's the fun part. Gretzky's superpower wasn't skating or strength. It was living 3 seconds ahead of everyone else. He saw lanes open before they existed, and his shot was placement over power. Original 6 defenses, park in the slot, Gretzky's office was behind the net, a piece of real estate that era basically ignored. Bobby Orr, who saw every elite passer from 66 on, called 99's vision the best I've ever seen. If he could thread saucers through 80s shot blocking, imagine the carnage when a 6'1" defender needed 3 strides to pivot. Give him 1 season to recalibrate, and centers like Beliveau and Delvecchio would be spinning in circles looking for the jock straps. Gretzky's 215-point monster came in a league with a 7.9 goal per game average. Shrink that to the original 6 average of 5.2, and a straight proration knocks him to roughly 141 points. Still first, just not from outer space. Era-adjusted metrics are more favorable. Hockey Reference lists him as having an all-time best 2,475 adjusted points, nearly 300 points clear of Howe's 2,190. Translation: regardless of whether it's a lower scoring environment or not, he's the outlier. Catch? He'd never lace up for 80 games. 70 was the max, and those train rides plus daily bruises probably chop another 10% off the totals. Bottom line, a 120-point season in 65 terms, still historic, just not cartoonish. Beyond ice size and blunt force trauma, Gretzky would have had to win over a room that worshipped toughness like a religion. You didn't just score, you answered the bell. Dave Semenko didn't show up until 1979, so in this timeline, 99 either learns to drop him or rents a bodyguard. Picture a line with Gretzky between Gordie Howe and Ted Lindsay. Howe's elbows clear the runway, Lindsay agitates, and Gretzky delivers the dagger pass. They might rattle off 4 straight cups and rewrite the record book by 1968, or maybe the lack of a power play umbrella at the blue line caps his one-timer setups, and the league grinds him down to a point-per-game scorer. Either story lands on the same paradox. The talent travels, but the era draws the ceiling. Drop 99 under the 63-64 Maple Leafs, already champs, and suddenly punch Imlach as a center who can hit Frank Mahovlich in stride better than anyone alive. Toronto might go back-to-back, or slot him between Bobby Hull and Stan Mikita in Chicago, and the Hawks end their 23-year famine a decade early. His arrival fast-forwards the stretch pass, nudges the league toward the 2-line pass tweak, maybe even triggers expansion 5 years sooner. Flip side, if he's great, legends like Henry Richard might finish with 3 cups instead of 11, and the Canadiens' mystique shrinks. History gets messy when the timeline sneezes. Smash the like if you think Gretzky still cracks 100 points, or tell me below why I'm underselling the era's brutality. Sub for next week's rabbit hole. What if Mario Lemieux had debuted in 1955? Spoiler, it gets weird. So, would Gretzky have been great in the original 6 era? Absolutely, just a different flavor of greatness. The 200-point seasons vanish. but a genius dropping 120 era adjusted points while collecting fresh bruises nightly is still the best player on the ice. Greatness isn't raw dominance, it's brilliance that bends the rules of its time. And Gretzky, he'd have bent them until they snapped. Hey hockey fans, you could also follow my blog at https://tedtalkshockey.com, and remember to keep your stick on the ice. Thanks for watching.